Do you think you know what your child is going through? What if the truth is much darker than you could ever imagine? This story might change the way you see your child forever. It's not just a tale, it's a wake up call. Keep watching. It was a sunny afternoon in a quiet village, a place where parents prided themselves on knowing everything about their children. In this world, secrets were a rare thing, but on this particular day, one of the brightest young minds in the village was keeping a secret so heavy it would change her life forever. Her name was Amara. She was the kind of child that every parent dreams of: polite, hardworking, and always a step ahead in school. But there was something nobody knew, not even her parents. Amara had been carrying the weight of a deep secret for months now. Every day, she would wear a mask of happiness and hope, but inside, her heart was breaking. She had become a target, a quiet victim of bullying from her classmates. But it wasn't just the words they used that hurt her. It was the way they made her feel invisible, like she wasn't worthy of anything. Her self-esteem, once vibrant and strong, had been shattered into pieces. Yet, she said nothing, not to her teachers, not to her friends, and definitely not to her parents. The more Amara suffered, the more the strain began to show. She couldn't concentrate on her homework. She avoided going out with friends. And when her mother asked why she was always so tired, Amara would just smile faintly and say, "I'm fine, Mama." But one day, the weight of it all came crashing down. Amara failed an important exam. Her parents were disappointed, but they didn't understand. How could they? They had no idea of the storm swelling in their daughter's heart. Would Amara find the strength to speak up, or would her silence destroy everything she held dear? Parents, this might be the moment you've been blind to, the moment your child's world start to shatter and you don't even notice. Keep watching. The days turned into weeks, and Amara's behavior grew more withdrawn. She started skipping meals, something she had never done before. Her parents noticed, of course, but Amara's perfect act of being fine had become so convincing that they brushed it off as just teen mood swings. Her father, a hardworking man, tried to make things better by buying her gifts, thinking that would make her happy again. Maybe she's just growing up, he thought. But it wasn't working. Her smile was fading more and more each day, and the darkness in her eyes was becoming impossible to ignore. One afternoon, Amara came home early from school. Her mother was in the kitchen preparing dinner, humming as she chopped vegetables. But when Amara walked in, her face was pale, her eyes hollow. There was something different about her. Her mother stopped and turned, sensing the shift in the air. "Amara, what's wrong?" she asked, concern creeping into her voice. Amara stood there for a long moment, her fist clenched at her sides. Her mother's questioning hung in the air, thick with uncertainty. Finally, Amara spoke, but it wasn't the words her mother was prepared for. "I can't take it anymore, Mama. I can't live like this." Amara's voice cracked, and the tears began to fall. The walls she had built up so carefully over the past few months came crumbling down. She collapsed into her mother's arm, sobbing uncontrollably. For the first time, Amara let the truth pour out about the bullying, the insult, the fear, and the pain. Her mother listened, her heart breaking with each word, but she had no idea how to fix it. How could she have known? How could any parent? Could this mother find a way to help her daughter, or was it already too late? This is the moment you don't want to miss, the turning point where everything changes. But will it be enough? Keep watching. Amara's revelation left her parents in shock. They had no idea their daughter had been suffering in silence. Her mother immediately reached out to the school, but the response was not what she expected. The teachers were sorry, but they didn't see anything happening. They had no idea what her daughter was going through either. Amara's father, feeling helpless, started questioning everything. How could I have missed this? How could we have let this happen? He asked himself, his guilt eating away at him. But in the silence of their home, one thing became clear. Amara's family was lost. They didn't know how to help her, and she didn't know how to ask. But one thing was certain, they weren't giving up on her. Amara's mother sat with her every night after that, reassuring her that she wasn't alone, that they would fight this together. Slowly, they started to rebuild the trust, but it wasn't easy. Amara had to find the courage to go back to school, to face the people who had hurt her, and to speak up. It was a battle. Some days were better than others, but with her family by her side, Amara began to find her strength again. Months later, the bullying stopped, not because the kids were suddenly kind, but because Amara learned to speak up, to stand her ground, and to refuse to let them tear her down. It was a show, painful process, but she was healing. Parent, how many of you are truly listening to your children? Amara's story is not just hers. This is happening right now in your own home, in your own town. The question is, will you hear it before it's too late? Take a moment, look closely. You may be surprised by what you find. This story is only the beginning. What happens next is up to you. If this story touched you, if it made you think twice, don't just sit there. Share it. Speak it to your children. Listen to them. Let's make sure no child has to go through this alone. Subscribe for more powerful stories that need to be heard. Thank you.